Hello and welcome, Trailblazers, to another Entrepreneur Journey interview. Today, my guest is Karen Mayfield, and Karen and I have had a conversation before, and she is just a delightful person. And she is also an author and life coach. Can you tell us a little bit more about you, Karen?
Well, first I'll make a disclaimer, and Doug and I talked about it. I have several dogs in here with me because we have a lot of dogs. We foster them, and most of them get failed and they don't leave here. So sometimes they may bark. I've got them down to a minimum, but you never know. But anyway, well, I live on a farm, 400 acres. We farm some of it. Um, Most of it we don't, and it's yeah, listen, this is it all day long. If you want to know really that what churns this thing, this is it. I mean, it's putting them in, bringing them back. It's just I'm their doorman and trying to keep them quiet when I'm really trying to work. But most people have learned to just. But now they let their dogs in. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. But anyway, so that's me, and I've been coaching for a long time, since 1991. And I started out with Dr. John Gray as a relationship coach. And he used to hold these Mars Venus workshops, around the country, and they were personal growth type workshops. And we went through a lot of the methods from Dr. Gray that he has in the book. And so that was my first coaching gig, but I was coaching someone else's material. And the more time that I spent with students in these workshops, the more I realized that their problems were personal. And that's what was getting in the way of their relationships. And a lot of times, if we straighten, get that a little where they're aware of that, know what's going on, then that will make a difference. Plus, uh, Dr. Gray introduced a really good method of communicating. I mean, just certain little, like, don't use that word, use this word. And it makes a total difference because of how it rests neuro linguistically. So, anyway, I got real fascinated with all that. And then I was trying to find out because we always talked about that there's 6 pillars in life. There's your physical life, your financial life, your emotional, your spiritual, family, career. And anything that happens to you is going to happen in one of those areas or two of those areas. So I came up with this little scientific method that's a mathematical genius and only does addition and subtraction. But anyway, it's where people can go through there and fill out this sheet of paper and find out on a scale of 1 to 10 where they are in these particular areas of their life. So if they're a 10 on physical, we don't work on that 10 unless they're spending all of their time in the gym and never being around their family, because then they're taking away, they're taking away the connection and all of this that they have as far as balancing this all out, because it has to get balanced out before everything will work.
right.
It just makes things run a lot smoother. So we have a little mathematical deal that they take, and it also lets them know on the game of life, are they an A, B, C, D, E, or F? And nobody has the same score. I mean, they may get the same score, but they got there differently. So that's kind of and that's still part of my signature deal on my private coaching, coaching lessons that I have. And so I kept that, and then I added that to the John Gray's workshops, and I did that for a long time. And then I really got tired of traveling in a way, and I wanted to just kind of settle down. So I went to work and as a general manager for my friends, 3 newspapers. So I hired on to help him launch a few other things in the market that he was in, like a shopper and different things like this. And then after a couple of years, I was ready to go, but I had the desire to launch a women's magazine. So I did. And so I launched that, and then I dealt with that for a while and realized that there was a way to make some money on some books. So what I did, and it happened kind of accidentally, I ran across some people that were there. They had a book series like Chicken Soup for the Soul that was called Wake Up, Live the Life You Love. And I ended up becoming an author in one of their books, and well, actually a co-author. So after the first round of that, I got the bug, and then I wanted to do those books, and so we did about 13 of those books under the Wake Up Women brand. So that's my brand, is Wake Up Women. Well, and then social media came along, and wow, we were talking a whole new language. And I mean, the world was exploding right before our eyes. I mean, we had people in Pakistan that posted on the page because, you know, they were our posting partners and different things. And we had women from all over the world, all different religions. We got along fine. And we were there when the women in Saudi Arabia started driving cars.
Nice.
We made the highlights. And the first film, let's see, the first place in Pakistan that did a beauty pageant with one of the princesses there. So it was very interesting. But then we got hacked. So we got a little bit too brave for our britches there. And so so we got our page was taken over, and we were generating 5,000 or 6,000 new fans a week.
Oh man.
We even wrote, like one day I was sitting at my desk and I was thinking, I wonder what all of these people were out there talking to. I wonder what they think about this. And so I thought, why don't I just ask them? In fact, why don't I ask them enough questions that we have enough content for a book? So I called it a social book or a flash book, because the book was so digital. If you would stay after it for a few hours, you could turn it in a few days instead of weeks or months and get it out there and give it as a gift. So we had 770 comments. I asked 10 questions, and that was all the comments that we got. I copied and pasted the comments, had a great cover built for it, and gave it away as a gift to anyone on Facebook. And so I did for a year. I gave it away to every day to whoever was on my birthday list. I sent them a link for it. And so that got us a lot of subscribers and just, you know, different things. And it was just this little blink of an idea. And it turned into about 9,000 new subscribers in about 3 weeks. Just when it first came out. So then I decided to do it again. Then that's when we got too hot for our britches and they hacked us. You know, but I've done 3 of those since then. One was on my online dating book that I wrote. And I put a whole course together for that called Looking for Love Online, of all places.
Nice.
And so as a relationship coach in there, I just wrote a lot about how to have more successful dating, you know, and more relationships that last a long time. And you're not just on Match.com for 6.5 years.
Right.
I mean, so that went over pretty good. But I did another what I called a flash book. And I did one of those and added it as a bonus for whoever went to Amazon and bought the workbook. And so that was a good thing. It went over well. Plus we added a conversation all the way through the book with whoever bought the book. They could, you know, there was a way for them to hear us and send us questions and different things, you know. So we did that. That was fun. Then I'm in the process of putting together a book called Meet the Fosters. And this is for to use as a fundraiser. This book is to use as a fundraiser, and it's so that we can have in Arkansas, we can develop a spay and neuter fund. And so nice. all of the people that have ordered the book, it's a digital book. I call it a digital like a digital desktop. It's that type of book. It's a desk book. You sit there and you read it, you know, it turns pages, you know, just like you know what it is, one of those.
Yep.
So a dressed up ebook. So we have that, and then that's coming out soon, and then we've got the prayer festival coming up, the Wake Up Women, prayer for women, prayer for peace. We got that coming up where on September 21st, we pray all day long all over the world. And they have the same prayers. And so we put a message of hope out there this year to hope that one time we made it to 187 countries and they prayed all day long and it was for peace. And so that's we do that. And then I'm launching the Wake Up Women Pinky Swear Club next week. Next week. A soft launch because I still got to get the procrastination clothes,
Yep.
The heat's about to come on. Then I'll work like a crazy person, knock it out. But it's a good thing I know how long it's going to take me to to do this, because I've got to make some website adjustments and make some stuff on the software over there. So it's really just computer work. So that's really it.
A lot of exciting stuff.
I know. I'm excited about it.
I really like that idea of prayer. Everyone like around the world, the world needs prayer. Let's just say that.
Lord. Yes. And, as a metaphysical prayer person, because there's a whole different language of prayer than what a lot of people don't know. And they probably know it. They just don't know they need to use it. And so when you use that, your prayers really start manifesting. But it's because they're already in motion when you identify that, thank you, Jesus, for sending blah, 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 instead of, hey, you reckon I could make sure my electric bills,
right.
Please, God.
Yep. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Instead of fear-based, they're faith-backed. Anyway, so we do that in September. And then in times, we may also do it at other times when we're having certain things that happen. And, I've joined in prayer groups where we were trying to change things, and that I knew that this hurricane it might cause a lot of damage that's going to happen, but not a high rate of people who were, who lost their lives. And, it came in with some wind and
not to go down that rabbit trail, but the media was claiming it was going to be worse than Katrina. But the thing is, I think they were prepared for this one, whereas Katrina, they were not prepared at all for it.
Yeah. I think that when Katrina hit, they just were kind of freaked out over that whole deal. And then Ray Nagin, he was, I thought he did a good job, but he went to jail anyway. But I guess that's politics.
Politics.
That's right. Politics and crime.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Lord.
So that, like I said, that is all exciting. I have a few questions just to kind of get everybody to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
If you were on a deserted island, what would you bring and why? What 3 things? Let's limit it to 3 things.
Let me tell you, this was one of the most, when I read this question, I thought, I hadn't thought about that. I might be on this farm for 3 months. And the only way if I would leave is if they quit delivering food. So I thought, now I've got to go to a deserted island. So where would I go? Would I take Wi-Fi and a cell phone and maybe a tent or some water? I need water. But I need shelter. But I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Do I want people to rest? Am I there because my boat sank?
I don't know. It's all up to you. Like, just give you that.
I tell you. So anyway, here's what I went for. I went for a cell phone that has a signal. Okay. And I went for Wi-Fi because that would guarantee my phone would work, hopefully. And then I was like, okay, I need water. So it was cell phone, Wi-Fi, and water.
Nice.
And that's really what keeps me alive here.
You'll drink the water till the help arrives that you called
That's
from your cell phone. So it makes sense to
they
me.
they can ping me.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And
So I don't know psychologically what that says about me, but there's a no tell.
so I know you said 400-acre farm, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And it's in Arkansas, correct?
Yes. Yeah. In the
And
River
how
Valley.
long have you lived in Arkansas?
All my life.
And what is your favorite thing about Arkansas?
Thought about that one too, because there's a lot. I mean, just about anything that you would want to do, except maybe ayahuasca or something like that, because I don't, you'd fall off some cliffs here, but just about anything you'd want to do, you can do here. You can do mountains, you can do flatlands, you can do all kinds of activities. You can do the most beautiful lakes in the whole wide world, or as good as any of them that's out there, mountains, a lot of history, the diamond mines. I mean, oh my gosh, and the crystal mines and all that. So Arkansas is a special state because of the metaphysical power that it has. But I think that we are located, as far as this state is located on the planet in a bunch of lines that go out everywhere through that. There's no telling about those crystal mines, how far they go, the veins,
Wow.
that they have. So there's that, and sometimes you'll get another different type of a stone that you dig up. So it's horse racing. Now we're going to gamble. We're gambling, and we
Wow.
can smoke pot legally here now. Well, as long as we have a prescription. So we are in the 21st century.
Nice, nice. Me and my wife were actually going to travel to Arkansas, but we kind of
Oh,
our plans got kind of derailed. I think I told you that last time we talked that we were going to come that way, but
yeah.
we did not. And it's still on my list to
Oh
go
my
there
gosh.
because
Yes,
it just looked beautiful. We were going
it
to go
is.
up towards the Ozarks.
Yes,
Um,
yes. Go
yeah,
up to Eureka Springs and oh my gosh, Table Rock Lake up there is fantastic.
yeah, it was a resort on the lake that we were going to go to,
Yeah,
and
it's really
next
pretty up
time.
there. Yes, exactly, exactly.
So tell us a little bit more about, I know you have lots of horses. Tell us a little bit more about your horses and the other animals on your farm.
Okay, we have 20 horses. Um, we've lost some. We've had a lot of seniors here because this is a sanctuary. It's Critter Campus Sanctuary. So when they come here, they don't leave.
Mm.
And it may be under a special occasion, but for the most part, no, they stay here. We have this young little stud who thinks he's all this, and he don't care to tear up the fence or whatever to lay up with the women. So he does that, and then we have babies, and then we deal with them. So, and I don't ride much, but I do. We do have a little program called Pony Express,
Oh,
and that's where you can come out here, and if you're really stressed out, we'll take a horse each, and we'll go for a walk, and I will answer their questions and coach them on the process and tell them, the main thing is that they have to stay in the present because, they've got to know what that horse is doing. And the thing about it is that the most that they're on a communication level with this horse, the more they are learning to connect and communicate. And so it teaches them a whole new ways. So it's I came across it just accidentally by doing liberty work with my horses,
hmm.
which we just go out and they jump over logs and I make them do things to entertain me.
Nice, nice. So
Can you jump over?
they're just not grazing out in the pasture type of horses. They will go
No,
out and run.
they don't normally have to get over more. My clients are getting older, so they don't have to get over as many trees or they don't have to get out of a trot. They just trot along.
I really think it's cool that you have that farm because I believe there's so many places that you can go and just kind of get serenity.
Oh my
And
word. Yes. It's amazing here. It really is. I mean, I've been quarantined about 4 times, but it wasn't even unusual. I wouldn't been. They didn't even have to quarantine. I wasn't leaving.
Right?
So somebody from here goes to town every day, and I just turn in my order.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So, some questions related to your entrepreneur journey. What
Mhm.
did you do before you were an entrepreneur?
I was. I've always been in either retail or spent most of my time in publishing, mid to level, upper level management in the advertising side. And then, as when I worked for the guy who had the newspapers, my friend who had the newspapers, and I came in and was going to help him to launch, some new circulars and the little pullouts that fall out of the paper. So we did that. And that was me working for someone where I took a salary, but yet it was my ideas that helped,
Mm,
that pushed him there. And it was really my thing saying, I'm going to go back to being an entrepreneur because I don't, the thing about it is I'm a futuristic. This phone never rings, but now then, here it goes. Hang on. Um, so I was, the newspaper business changed tremendously also
mm.
around that time. I mean, that was it. And so that was why I was, kind of trying to be cutting edge and get some things done. And so I think pretty fast. And it's hard a lot of times for people to keep up with me because, when you do something for so long, it becomes second hat to you. But
Hmm.
but you have to make sure that you don't run off and leave your clients, especially when I'm working with them to help get their business started.
Yeah.
You know, and I work fast. I don't talk about what I'm going to do. I just go do it, especially if it's my stuff to do in a minute and I'll do it in 30 seconds. So anyway, but yeah, you know what I said before, do as I say, do not do as I am.
Yeah.
you know.
I will say I'm much the same way. I get excited about doing the work for my clients, because
Mhm.
I like seeing what becomes of it. Um,
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
yeah, I get excited for my own stuff too, but not like
Mhm.
what happens for clients.
Yeah, now I'm about to put myself probably under um, with this membership because this is this is stepping out there because once they really get down into the lessons and everything about it, um, it it's pretty deep. But I've
Mm,
tried to take it from being so out there that people don't get it and they'll never connect them and bring it back into where it can fall on their mindset real easy. So it'll be the most serious coaching that I've ever done
wow.
because I'm so crazy for one thing. I mean, I mean, seriously, I get it together when it's time to work. It's like I'm like a little prancing pony. I'm all over the place, but when you get the bridle and on me, I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? Let's go. Come on.
Yep. Yep.
So that's it. I'm a good cheerleader.
Nice. So what is your favorite thing about coaching?
Well, let's see. My favorite thing. Oh my gosh. I think my favorite thing is when I hear about someone's dream.
Mm,
That's because I know then that that's a dream I want to help them be a part of. And that would be a match for me. That
that's
we
that's
could,
awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
What do you wish you knew when you started out that you know now?
Uh, what a coach was,
Hmm.
you know, because I started out in 1991, and when
Hmm.
people were saying they were, well, what's it? You're a coach. Yes, yes, I'm a coach. I wanted to tell them I'm a professional call girl because I do all my coaching, on the phone or, somewhere in there. And so that's what I wanted to tell them. I thought, well, they will figure that one out. And then, but anyway, I said, well, here's the deal. When you have um, in life, if you want to really be good at something, say you want to be a really good football player. Are you gonna be just know how to play? Are you gonna be, you know, just a part-time at it or whatever? Are you gonna make this your deal? If you are, then it's gonna be your coach that's there to get you to do this. And I'll say, I listen to your dreams. I hear what you say. And I can tell you if I'm your coach or not. And it won't be easy. But you know what? If it doesn't work, you can have your whole life back.
Nice.
And so we don't have much trouble now. Now I'm about to take a $900 program and take it down to $37.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that just so you can make it more accessible? More accessible
Yes,
to more people?
everybody needs this. And of course, that's about the lowest, but it's only $37.95 for 1 month, and then it's $10 a month.
Okay.
You know, because if just 10,000 people come and join the Pinky Swear deal, that's $1.2 million in gross revenue a year. And if I'm going to give half of that away to all of these people that's over here, really working hard to get their business started and all this, well, we'll do a challenge, about a 92-day challenge on, you're about to launch your business. We're going to teach you about engagement, but we're not going to talk about it. You're going to do it, and you're going to have to compete with all these other people. And if we've hit our 10,000 person mark, we're going to have $500,000 to give away.
Wow.
Somehow to help. And here's the thing. There's mentors like yourself who comes in and actually is an expert to this person. You've got expertise, and really, what good is it for you to know something if you're not going to share it?
Exactly.
And the money will be there if you have that attitude. And I didn't really believe that until it happened, until I was manifesting things that I just thought of, and then the next thing you know, and I'm getting faster at it and faster at it and faster at it, and it just gets amazing that these are. And here's the thing, though. Here's the secret. It's really not really about the laws of attraction. It's about the law of positivity. Because the law of positivity is because the law of attraction, it's going to hook up to negative or positive, either one. But the law of positivity only hooks up to the positive deal, because we have got to evolve much higher on the map of consciousness, because that's going to be the secret to peace. Mm-hmm. But it's going to take a mindset. But you know what, Doug? We're not that far away. We are just not that far away. And if positivity grows by 5% more, we will be equal to negativity. Every bite we take after that is out of negativity. And negativity feeds on positivity. And what we're going to do is we're going to just grow and grow and grow until we choke out negativity, and then we've won.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that. And in reference to kind of what you said a couple minutes ago, that, if you share what you know, my wife sometimes gets on me because I'll give away I'll give advice, and she'll hear me. She's like, why aren't you charging for that? It's because I'm just trying to help people.
Right. I'm practicing. This is not a real job.
So, but I think she's seen it too, that, a lot of times you just put your best stuff out there, and people want to work with you because they see how good you are.
Here's when someone else tells someone else about you, you sold them.
Yep.
When totally someone else tells someone else about you, you sold them. And because they're your best mouthpieces. And really, Facebook is, it's like virgin territory for going in there and reaching out, because I get in these groups, and we've got a couple of large groups, and then it's tough to manage all these pages, but I get it done anyway. Anyway, it gets to be just all consuming, because I go in and I don't just go in there and leave a link to something of mine. I read where someone's asking for help and I give them a honest answer. And a lot of times it's not what they want to hear, but the way that I presented it to them makes sense. And there's a language of a coach, and you're going to know when you've got it. And I think that a lot of coaches are losing this language because they focus so much on money.
Yeah.
And hitting that 6-figure deal and 7 figures and,
lead with value.
Yeah, exactly. But I know how it is because I was hooked on doing business that way. And if it wasn't going to make me $1 million, I'm trying to pitch it to me. I don't want to hear it. I was all about, and I was I was on the road at a house that I only saw 72 days in 1 year. That I was paying. I think the payment on that one was $2,200 a month. And so, but I was never there. I paid a lawn man I never saw because I was supporting a lifestyle that I really didn't have unless I went out and did all this stuff, And so when I turned 60, which is almost 7 years ago, it will be in 3 weeks. Anyway,
what did you say, last year?
Yeah, last year. Yeah, it was just recent. But I told myself, I said, oh, I've had it. I cannot book another airline flight. I just can't do it. I mean, because the last time I was in Los Angeles, they had a shooting there, right? And I just heard that bang, bang, bang about 3 or 4 times. And I was already in there by my gate, but oh my word, that was something else. And I thought, these are not, I can work just as good zooming in. I can go zoom, zoom, zoom. And I don't have to leave my house. And so that may not be a good thing. I might be harboring on like depression or something. I don't know. I call it quarantine, but anyway. But, there's so much there. But I think that when we kick off this prayer thing when we do our prayer thing this September, I think that we're going to continue it for a long time. And where everybody at 11:11, everybody is saying the same prayer. Nice. And and the prayer has got to be real high vibration and really ready for people to open their hearts, because we really have got to move out of hatred. And this is being we're more than divided. I mean, that's it. We're more than divided. We are totally split. And not down the middle. We're fractured as a society.
Wow. It is so interesting that you say that, because the last call I had before you, we talked about that same thing. Wow. About how divided we are and how we need to become united. It was actually a sales call for me. But it went into that, how because everyone has that on their minds.
Right.
If we all think we're too divided, why can't we come together?
Right. I mean, this is the thing. And I told my friend this morning, I said, I'd overthrow the government, but here's the deal. They've got it so messed up that we'd really, I said, so here's the thing. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be the one to create the next wow. I'm going to create that. I'm not just going to, like the law of attraction, that was a wow. Well, I'm ready for a wow. And I've got the wow now, and I'm about to wow everybody.
Nice. I am on the edge of my seat waiting for it. Just so you know.
Good, because it's going to be fun. And so, if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it, because I'm not going to do something that's not fun. Because I've done that too much. And this is my legacy work, and we're going to have this be fun. So I could be taken out at any moment on my own by falling off the front porch because of these bifocals. Can't believe I haven't broke my neck yet. Anyway, you just don't know. So every day you've got to put forth your best, especially when you're in your last days. And every day could be your final day, but not every day is your last day. So when we totally wore out this organic bodysuit here and it's just not going to serve us anymore, well, we're out of here. I mean, we're gone. It's like aloha muchacho.
Yep.
It's been fun. Sorry I drank my whole life, but hey, we had a good time. So that's kind of where it's at. But we have to make moving up the vibrational scale fun.
Mm-hmm.
We do, because if that's it. We are so suppressed, and when we suppress things, it gets expressed in how we act and how we talk to people and how we even talk to ourselves.
Yep.
And if you think that you're not getting enough unconditional love, you go to the shelter and you adopt as many dogs as you can. It took me 11, but I've hit my self-love, unconditional love scale.
Is it to the point where the shelter calls you and say, we've got another one?
Just bring it out here and put it in the kennel. I mean, I have had one slipped over the fence and a note put on the door. And here, but I'll show you her. And let me just, I'm sitting on an inch of this chair because she's pushing me out.
Oh, so cute. You kind of have my dog Charlie's face. Not the same type of dog, but their face is very similar.
Yes. She's sleepy. Are you sleepy, puppy?
It's like, why'd you wake me from my nap?
I know. She's in here in the chair with me, as usual. No, I barely have any room to sit. I mean, I need to have a custom chair built.
With a dog pocket?
Hold them on the side, because there's always two that gets in the chair with me, and then they take their feet and they try to just push me out. And then I'm like, no, sir, girl. And we struggle.
They're trying to claim the chair.
Right. This is a time chair. Whoever's time runs out on it first gets up and loses their spot.
There you go.
Because we don't, there's no room for you at the end.
So I want to talk a little bit more about the Wake Up Women book series. And can you just kind of explain what that was all about? That
was me deciding that I wanted to write a book, and I wanted to see if we could do what I thought we could do. Now, writing a book and finding authors is really, to me, about the same as putting together a newspaper and finding somebody to write on the latest deal. So I had one of my joint venture partners, and I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I have an idea, because I had just been in the Wake Up, Live the Life You Love book series, and I got hooked right there, boy. I mean, I was under the ether, I mean, because being a published author and a coach, it does give you an advantage, whether you know it or not. I mean, it really does, because there's been so many times when I was not somewhere handing out business cards. I was handing out bookmarkers and selling my books, and signing all of them and listening to people's stories and, all that. So my partner and I, we got together and we contacted 150 life coaches and women life coaches. And we got 52 of them to come in and join us in the Wake Up Women, Be Happy, Healthy, and Wealthy, a guidebook. So what we did is we looked for the sharpest people that we could find to do this, ones that had been authored. We would go in a lot of times and pull out content that we would like for them to elaborate on. And so we wrote that book. We had a pretty slick marketing campaign, and we had the authors that were really there to get out there and promote the book before it ever came out. So we pre-sold 30,000 copies. We haven't done that well since then. But we make bestsellers still. I mean, not every time, but most times.
So when when they that's really powerful when you have that many people contributing, because you then have
Mhm.
that
That
much
many
of a
people
push.
promoting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because
really smart.
they can't come in. They can't come in and play with us unless they want to learn how to become a best-selling author. Because anybody can write a book, but not everybody can go out there and
That's
become a best-selling author. I mean, because there's some tricks to the trade that people they don't know.
that's right. I'll be talking to you when I write my book. Uh, just kind of putting that out there in the universe.
Mhm.
My idea for my book, just so you know, is based on these interviews that I'm doing. So
Cool.
once I
Yes.
compile a bunch of these interviews, I'm going to go and take a lot of the nuggets that have been
Hmm.
shared and make a book
Hmm.
out of it. So um,
Yeah,
that's where my book is going to be.
that's a good idea. Um, Do you know Stephen E? Stephen E.
I
Schmidt? Well, now it's Stephen E. Redford because his mother told him his father died when she was pregnant with him. And so then he didn't think he had a daddy. Then he did one of those deals and found out he did. And so anyway, but now then he is really one of my buddies for one thing. But we do a lot of business together still. And he has when it comes to books, because I collaborate with him a whole lot, you know. And so when it comes to books, he's really good. I mean, he's
nice. Yeah,
incredibly good. And especially, and he'll sit and talk to you, and you don't have to pay him to sit and talk to him. And sometimes I'll bring him on and have 10 or 12 of my authors come in and just ask him questions, and he's good to go with it. He don't care.
nice.
Yeah, I should do it to you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Maybe I
game.
will. I think I'll
I'm,
get me about 20 women, put them in a circle, and put you in the middle of it,
I,
and you
I,
hear what they.
I'm comfortable. I'd be comfortable in that.
I think so. Oh
So
gosh.
another question. Tell us more specifics about metaphysical ministry.
Okay. Let me think. How old was I when I don't even know. It's been a while. Anyway, okay. When I was 16 years old, my mother told me that I was a special child because the nurse told her in the hospital that I was a special child because I was born at 11:11 p.m.
Mm,
So I kind of made a mental note of that, but I didn't really think too much about it because, it just was kind of there in the back of my mind because I was making no connection to it at all. But I never forgot it. And so as I was older and I was about to, I had a kidney stone and I was trying to get the magazine turned. And, because it was a Mother's Day issue and I
mm.
had to get it to the printer at such and such a time. And, so I put my health, I mean, seriously, because after this, I was in the hospital in intensive care for 9 or 10 days because I ended up getting sepsis.
Oh man.
Imagine that, but I did that anyway. So when I was in there, I had a digital clock on my wall in my hospital room. And every time that I would look up at that clock, it would either be 11:11 or 9:11 or 8:11 or 8:03 or something, but somehow it came up to an 11. So I thought there's got to be something to this. So that was when I started really thinking about learning about the manifesting and all this, and that every time that I saw that number, I would say a gratitude prayer.
Mm.
And I had an opportunity to say it. I saw it, I might see it 8 or 9 times a day. So I gave a gratitude prayer every single time. And then I would see those little deals show up, you know, and I was like, wow, I asked for that, and they had it right here. Then one day, I'll show you this. This is me coming out of the closet here now. This right here,
Oh wow.
the
The
knowledge book,
knowledge
and
book.
you can tell that I've worked it over. I mean,
Yeah. It's
this
well
book,
used.
it's very well used. Okay, so this has 1,111 pages, and
Oh.
this is why I told you that to I'm going to create the wow. It's created. It's called the movement, and
Mm.
one vision evolving, moving everyone naturally together.
Nice.
And it's God's plan coming together. So,
Nice.
this book is kind of, you got to have a lot of understanding about it. So,
Oh yeah. Looks like almost like a math book.
It is. It's amazing. But it takes you through, anyway, this book is something else. But anyway, it's difficult to read for a lot of people. But everybody in the world that's studying this book is studying the same thing every day. We all read the same thing. We have a reading program. You read the things 6 times a year, and you don't retain anything about it. You don't retain anything from it. Maybe little bits and pieces every now and then, but because it's of some kind of method that it got downloaded or whatever. All I know is this is new stuff that people don't know, and they need it. And so I'm calling it the New World Order, the KNEW. I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know, but I'm just going to enlighten you to things that you forgot.
Wow. That sounds powerful.
Yeah, it is. I'll be the next Billy Graham. That's
I don't live too far from Billy Graham's home base up there in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. I have not been to the museum though, and I want to go. But if they make a museum for you, I'm coming to that too.
Well, we've got Bill Clinton's. I better not say. He's my friend. Bill Clinton's my friend.
So my last question for you, and then I'll ask how people can reach out to you. But who is your ideal client?
Somebody who wants it so bad that there are no obstacles, there's only opportunity. And to come in, when I listen to opportunity seekers and not obstacle seers, I get fired up about it, because I'm like, I can just see that happening. I can see them standing on a stage with 5,000. I just start seeing things for them because I get so excited. And a lot of our authors have came on to do some really cool things, and that's what we're here to make a difference. And we were sent here with a vision. Mm-hmm. This is not a playground, but we get intoxicated by it because this world is beautiful. You have to admit.
It is. It is.
And there's no dinosaurs eating us now. So,
right. Right.
To my knowledge.
God's majesty is on display in so many places.
Yes, that's so true. It's so true. And I see it. And now is our time. And we are going through a reawakening. This is not an awakening. We've been awake for a while, but we're going to wake up some more.
Yeah.
And, and I'm going to preach out this knowledge book. And because here's the thing, when you ask me about I've tried to identify metaphysical. I have. I know the meta, and I know the physical, and I know all that. But the best way that I can explain it is that it's the allness and the nothingness.
That's pretty deep.
It is deep. It's the allness and the nothingness. But you look out there, and when you look outside and you look at everything out there in the beauty of it, you know the creation that was behind this. And so, but you can't see it. You can feel it, but you can't touch it. It can move you, yet you can still be standing still. So it's the most powerful thing in the whole wide world. That's it. It really is. And we have to just, we can be eating up negativity. We can be making a meal out of it in 10 moves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it won't take us long to eat negativity up, because, it's got a lot of ego in it.
It does. Yeah.
Right. A lot of ego, no doubt. So yeah, I'm just kind of weird, and you just have to take it that way, because I tried to change, it just didn't work. fell back my old ways.
Well, it's all about being who you are and being authentic. People relate to real people, not people that are trying to put on some kind of facade.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think one of the main things that I really like about the emerging entrepreneur market is that more than ever now, people are realizing that money is the byproduct of what they do and not why they do it.
Yep.
And just that little simple change right there has turned the whole dynamics. And we're seeing people who have all this money just give gobs of it away. And I want to do that too, because the more you give, the more you gain. So
I'm a firm believer in that too.
I mean, and it works. So that
and when you give out of faith, when you don't think you have it to give, that's really powerful.
Exactly. What was it? I think it was John Gray. He and I were going down the escalator in the he's a little guy. So when I stood up behind the deal with him, I was a little taller than he was. And so he turned around and he looked at me and he said, "You will never steal, like, to make not move. You will never steal someone whose hand shakes, but you will help them to heal when you talk to them." And it's really interesting, because when I'll be coaching people and I realize I need to have that one sentence that I need to say that shifts this whole conversation, and the whole belief around something that's not really there. And that's what's holding them back. And so when you can see that and you get that message and you deliver that message, it makes a difference to that person. It may not make a difference to another person anywhere, but I just have the right thing pop up when it comes time. And so that's why God made me be a coach, because I got called to this profession. I had no choice. That it wouldn't stop. Nice. So I ended up here,
And powerful things when we listen to what God has to tell us.
Oh I mean, seriously, and people better be listening.
That's right. That is so right. Well,
that's right.
I do have to go get my daughter. Is why reason I have to cut this interview a little bit shorter. But please tell everybody how they can reach out to you. And yeah, just tell everybody how they can reach you.
Okay. Well, let's see. You can find me on Facebook, and there's several of us, Karen Mayfields, and you can read about all of us, because everyone has something to do with a tree anyway. So so there's the website that's wakeupwomen.com or wakeupwomen.us. That one is the US site. And then I'm on Facebook. You can do Wake Up Women ORG. You can go to our Wake Up Women page on Facebook, and we're pretty active there. So not as active as we used to be, because I've been over in my personal page, but things are about to change. So if you want to come and go with the change, then give me a call. Nice. I never answer my phone, so don't give me a call.
We'll put all those links below the interview, so that they can reach out to you that way. And it has been a pleasure having you. I have learned so much. Well, that's one of my favorite things about these is I get connected with people, and I learn so much from other people.
Yes, I know.
And it just helps with our mindset, Every day
here's the deal. Yeah. We signed up for this a long time. We signed up for this long before. I'll never forget the day that God came in there and said, "Girl, I'm sorry, but you got to get up out of here. I'm going to give you an organic suit. And you're going to start out as a baby again." Oh, great. That's the only thing I dread about death, is having to start over, maybe. How do we know?
Right.
Oh, gosh. But Doug, thank you so much I've had a great time.